Good morning and welcome, Petro Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, happy Friday. We've made it through another week, and it has been, like all the weeks, seemingly crazier and crazier. We've got a lot of things to talk about. As it seems like the world has gone completely mad. But before we get into it, a quick Texit update. You guys should be getting all of your coins as we speak. They are coming through, and everybody will be all caught up after today. We appreciate everyone's patience on that little software glitch, but a lot of good news for Texit Coin. The coin market cap, which is, the place you go to figure out what cryptos are legit, what have you. CoinMarketCap, they essentially what they do is they authenticate the blockchains of cryptos. And yesterday, CoinMarketCap informed us that Texit Coin has met all the criteria to be a verified, by CoinMarketCap, a verified blockchain. So really, really positive news on top of what's going on with the court case. Everything. We've been bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. We're starting to get the good news that we knew would be coming. So let's see what happens. Right? We got a long way to go to get back to where we should be. I think where we're going to be, and it's just a vindication from all the trolls out there that we're telling you a bunch of nonsense, and CoinMarketCap saying, "Hey, guess what? There's no nonsense here. This is the real deal." And we'll see Layer 2's getting ready to kick in. So there's a lot of positive things happening with Texit Coin, and it's been tough for the last few weeks, so it's good to have some good news. So, and again, listen, Iskander's out there, and I know a lot of you are a little gun shy, but you know what? I'll say this: throw $995 at it. Just see. You can always increase it later. But if you want to, if you have questions or anything like that, reach out to us here. Christine, Sarah, myself, we can help you. 800-951-0592. But everything should be, starting tonight, the daily payouts should be back on track like they've always been. And then we've got the big server conversion that's going to be up and running here any day. We'll be mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, Iskander, and Texit Coin, as well as operating it at a much higher efficiency. So we should start seeing the daily coin payouts going up. Also, it makes the mines profitable. We'll be able to be not only pay the power bill, have money left over, and then last but not least, the last 4 containers are here. So they've made it to the United States. Obviously, we got to get them in. Right now, if they're up and running by 4th of July, that'd be awesome, right? And that would be, and now the best part is we know we'll be mine as we put them in. They'll be making money. Same thing with Iskander. We'll be putting those servers to work as well. So some good news finally there for you guys. We appreciate that. I know it's been tough for some of you, and I know some of you got really, really negative. It's time to start getting really, really positive again. But our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. And what is going on? The markets are down again. The bond yields have exploded all over the world. It is something where we were hoping this wouldn't come. It is here. The U.S. 10-year note, 439, way up. We're sitting there. Remember, I warned you about 430, breaking 430, but it's worse other places. The U.K. Having a bond moment today, kind of similar to what Japan was having. Listen to this. The UK 10-year note over 5%. As, again, how are you going to pay for all of the borrowing that is going on? And then oil prices, we've been seesawing here, but here's the deal. Oil prices, NYMEX oil, $98 today. It's been sitting in the upper 90s. Brent crude at $110. But Saudi Arabia came out and warned about where oil prices are going today. And are we going to start telling people not to go to work? We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Friday. I wish things were getting better right now. Let's just take a quick look at the market, then we'll get into things here. The Dow's down 200 points. The S&P's down 50. The Nasdaq's down 250. Like we said, the 10-year note, 439. NYMEX crude, $98. Brent crude, $110. Wholesale gasoline, $3.25. And again, I don't know. That's not what you got to pay if you want it today. Let's just put it that way, right? Gold down 70. Gold kind of recovered yesterday, so we're kind of right back where we were at the show yesterday. 45.75. Silver right at $70. But I just want people to know if you don't buy some silver today, tomorrow we're closed. You're making a mistake. China silver imports just hit a new all-time record high for January and February of 2026. Burgeoning demand from industrial and investment. This is literally draining silver stockpiles. Unprecedented foreign purchases, according to the latest customs data that just got released. China imported essentially 800 tons of silver with February alone. Listen to this. Here's the thing. It'd be one thing. 800 tons, 400 in January, 400 in February. 330 in January, which is a ton. 470 in February, right? And you got to remember, silver in February. Let's face it, right? It was low, then it shot back up into the 90s, right? It was at one point it was in the hundreds. I wonder what it's going to look like after. I can only imagine this situation. Listen, and I've been trying to explain it to you. Why is gold down? Why is silver down? Just look at the bond market. It's all you need to do. Yields exploding higher, and I think we're going to get to the point where, okay, now we're going to go the other way. The higher the yields go, the higher gold and silver are going to go, because this is just disastrous of what we're seeing. When you think about the UK now saying, hey, the whole bond market is saying, listen, we can't loan you money. How are you going to pay for this? In every country out there, right, the war premiums, right, they all want to buy more bombs. They all want to buy more missiles, right? They all want to buy whatever it is, and none of them have the money to do it. But now, news out of Saudi Arabia today. By the way, China also bought gold the 16th straight month 16th straight month in a row again in February. Nothing's changed here, guys. Jump on all of this stuff. I'll get you. I got a great special coming, so hang in there. Now, Saudi Arabia, they said that things are definitely not going as well as people may think. When we look at the oil price today, still, just below $100, 110 on the NYMEX. Saudi Arabia today said, okay, here is what is going to happen. If this goes into April, which it sure feels like that's going to happen, Saudi Arabia says oil prices will reach $180 a barrel. They essentially have said, listen, we've done all we can do. We can't do any more. This is as much oil as we can give the world. And it paints a dire picture of what is to come. We expect an announcement today that the United States is going to allow all the Iranian oil that they say is at sea. Now, Jason and I have been telling you, Jason's been on this, and there was a huge oil glut before Venezuela. Okay? Oil was down in the 50s. Nobody can make money, in the 50s. What people didn't realize is there was all kinds of oil ships all over the place, just sitting there full of oil, just anchored, waiting. Well, guess what? All of those anchored waiting ships are now delivering. Mm-hmm. Last week, we sold the Russians, who had 130 million barrels of oil sitting on ships. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. You can deliver to whoever you want. Apparently, the only place Russia can't do it to is Cuba. By the way, yeah, that's throw that in there.
A war to be determined.
Right? Yes, right. Apparently, that's we decide now if a country can buy oil or not. It's our decision, right? That we are the supreme leader.
There's not a lot of countries left to defy that authority.
Yes. So Iran has 140 million barrels in these ships. We expect before the end of the week, and today's Friday, that the United States is going to give the go-ahead for all of that oil to be delivered to whoever wants it, with the exception of Cuba, right? Anybody but Cuba can buy this oil. This will give them about 10 days.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that today Saudi Arabia is like, hey, by the way, if this thing goes into April.
You got to try to think really hard. Why would we allow that in a war, right? Why would you allow that? And
right.
As you're talking, Joe, I'm thinking, why do I get this sneaking suspicion? This is why it seems like such a fake war. Why do I get the feeling that Iranian oil, wherever it lands, is being bought in dollars? Why do I get the feeling, Joe? Why do I get the feeling Iranian oil is going to be purchased with dollars, and that's why it was okayed? I've never heard of such a negotiated war ever like this. You know, it's not like we negotiated with the Germans during World War II. Hey, Germany, we're going to let some of your oil come out there because we know that some of our, one of the non-combatants, they need that oil. And, yeah, well, go ahead. Go ahead, Germany. You know, it didn't happen. But in this war, we're negotiating which oils get to go where and how they're going to be paid for. And it's just so tidy and nice. Right, Joe? It's blow up one of our refineries. We'll blow up one of your refineries. We got too much going on anyways. The whole world's going into a recession, so we don't really need all this oil. And how do we have inflation if we have all these darn refineries making all this energy? It just sure seems like the world is a playground for those that are in control, Joe. And the playground just had too much oil, and too many oil refineries for them to keep control of things.
This is, yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu came out and talked about how Iran's ability to make missiles and nuclear, it's totally destroyed, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, great. Let's take our ball and go home, right? If it's totally destroyed, let's go home. Apparently, the Iranians saw that and said, oh, really? Here's some more missiles that they hit more refiners this morning. On top of that, they said, yeah, we're still making plenty of missiles. Don't worry. And now the president is out.
Oh, man.
More warships with more troops. 3 more warships with thousands of additional Marines are now on their way to the Middle East.
You know, we need an update, Joe. You and I are this weekend. We're going to have to dig deep and find out exactly what's happening in Venezuela. Because they have the largest oil field in the world. And remember, before all this stuff started happening in the last couple of years, wasn't Saudi Arabia getting interested in the BRICS, right? And maybe we're going to sell some of this oil without dollar. You know, they were being tempted. Well, how much tempting can you have if your oil refiners are all burned up and blown up? And then miraculously, Venezuela will have all these brand new refineries, all fixed up and modern and cranking out the most oil in the world.
Right? At $180 a barrel. Are you kidding me? The oil companies will be racing.
It sure seems Venezuela. Like someone's being punished for talking to the wrong side of things, right?
Wow.
It sure seems like that's where we're headed.
Here's the president today. Without the USA, NATO is a paper tiger, duh. Right? That's probably stating the obvious. They didn't want to join the fight to stop a nuclear-powered Iran, right? So that's the message. They had to do it. They were gonna nuke us.
The shaming.
Now that the fight is militarily won, with very little danger for them, they complain about how high oil prices are that they're forced to pay, but they don't want to help open the Strait of Hormuz, a simple military maneuver that is the single reason for these high prices. So easy for them to do, so little risk. Cowards. Wow. We will remember. So
it's starting to make some sense now why the Ukraine war will not end. Okay, that's a lot of oil burn off. Look, they knocked out that underwater pipe. This glut was getting bad 4 or 5 years ago, I think, Joe. Now it's all starting to become clear. How much oil production can we stop? We're getting ready for inflation. Trump was supposed to be winning the second election, but the market crash wasn't going to happen during that second term. So you insert Biden to just warm the seat. You destroy as much oil infrastructure during a Ukraine war. Look how much oil infrastructure was kind of taken out just in that part of the world, right? Russia is sanctioned. They can't sell their oil, all this stuff, right? And it still wasn't enough oil destruction. This false scarcity is on the level that we've never seen before. These people that ever say, oh, well, one of these days we're going to run out of oil. This is the clear case that there is no such thing as running out of oil, and that making it scarce falsely is what inflation needs, Joe. This is all it's about. This is the only thing that's been geopolitically. Now it all makes sense. It's all about oil is not playing along with our inflation game. So let's start destroying it. Wow, just like that.
just a quick update now. Refiners in Israel have been hit. Yesterday, the Qatar said the attacks on its liquid natural gas has sustained significant damage and will take years to fix. So this is European gas prices. You think paying for gas at the pump is expensive. This is outrageous. On top of that, for the second straight day, Iran has hit refineries in Qatar, fires ripping through processing units all throughout Kuwait, and now people are thinking, Jason, that we're going to go to try to take Karg Island. That's that big island. It's not a big island, but that's that island in the Strait of Hormuz that has pretty much the Iranian oil infrastructure. Yeah. I got an idea of what's going to happen if we do that. I'm just saying.
Yes, ma'am.
800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Quickly here to take advantage of these pullbacks, the bond market implosion today. $10 liberties, $2,400. If you buy 10 or more, $23.75, and that's like $47.50. Incredible opportunity. The cheapest way to buy gold today. $10 liberties, 1 through 9, 2,400, 10 or more, 23.75. U.S. Silver Eagles. Okay. As long as it stays, right now it's 69.65. As long as it stays below 70. U.S. Silver Eagles, 15.95. 15.95. If it goes above 70, 16.50, but right now 15.95 at 800-951-0592. Guys, this is like robbery. It really is. The supply situation is incredible. The news today, you know what's so funny is silver would probably be like $120 today if there had been no war in Iran. With the amount of inventory depletion, but the bond market is beginning to panic here. Things are getting worse as inflation seems to be, and really stagflation seems to be what is coming. The IEA is now wanting, ready for this, if you can work from home, to start working from home to save gas. Yes. Countries around the world are instituting 4-day work weeks, asking people not to drive. The problem is a lot of countries are going to run out of oil simply because they won't be able to afford to buy it. And here's the other part. We're short. Okay, so listen, no matter what gets announced, right? You know, it seems like they send Trump out or Netanyahu out or Scott Bessent out to try to keep the price right where it's at. They're trying really hard to keep it at $100. And the Iran trick, right? Okay, we'll let them sell all. That's it. There is no other tricks after that. And the world is short about 10 million barrels of oil a day. So logic tells you that, okay, that means pretty soon countries are going to have no oil. And even if they could afford to buy it, here's the problem. We're short 10 million barrels today. And guess what? We're short 10 million barrels tomorrow. And we're short 10 million barrels the next day. And we're short 10 million barrels the day after that. This is rapidly could become very dangerous. But I'm wondering if we're going, here we just saw probably in the last year since Trump got elected, all the companies in America are now saying, all right, screw this, everyone back to work. Are we going to go back and now they're going to say, okay, nobody come back to work, everybody work from home because the world needs oil? I don't know.
It's COVID-2 without the disease. It's COVID.
What a great analogy.
It's COVID without the disease.
Without the disease.
I'm thinking out loud here, but to have more soldiers died in this war or more oil refinery workers? I mean, I'm wondering if there's been more oil workers that have died than soldiers so far, with all the refineries actually getting hit.
Yeah, yes.
That's why
at least U.S. soldiers.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I haven't seen any U.S. is hitting soldiers on the ground. I haven't seen any of that in Iran. So really, it's all about hitting missile silos and military targets. But it's mostly been hit a refinery. This is somebody's probably done the math on this, Joe. I'm sure there's a certain amount of refineries that they want to eliminate. That's what it sounds like. So how many do they want to not have? I mean, listen, we've always said, man, to get the cheap oil and have cheap gas, why don't they just build more refineries? For decades and decades, why don't they just build more refineries? I know they're complex, but they're not that complex. If they can make minuscule microscopic microchips that go on computers to make AI and technology run, I'm sure they can make an oil refinery, Joe. So this is why they can't have too much oil, or else they don't get to inflate and steal from us.
This is wow. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Crazy to think about what is happening. Look at the British 10-year note, the yield, the highest in 18 years. Well, what does that mean? Oh, yeah, 2008. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, the highest since the financial crisis. And what they're saying is that the anticipated tightening and monetary policy is going to impinge growth, making it less likely that people will want to hold UK government debt long-term or short-term. It is getting punished by the markets for a greater chance the inflation shock is ultimately worse for British finances than, say, that of France or Germany. So who's on the clock now? Japan's on the clock. The UK's on the clock, right? This thing just seems to be spreading and spreading and spreading. And what happens next week, right? Who's next, right? Is it French bonds next? Is it German bonds next? Is it U.S. bonds? I mean, look at the bond market today in the U.S. It's up a full point. We went from 4.29 to 4.39. I mean, the UK, it's almost up 2 full points. Yeah. I don't know. I guess no one figured, wait a minute, if we have super high inflation, I guess they forgot. Somehow they thought bond yields will go lower. Are we going to really be able to grow our way out of this mess? Doesn't look very likely, does it? Back. 800-951-0592. Yeah, nothing is working right now. Oil is just, well, again, the prices I give you, that's not the prices being paid. They're so much higher than that. But we got 10 days to get this thing done. And forget about $5 gas. This thing doesn't end 8, 10. I mean, right now, NYMEX is $98. Okay. Well, if it doubles, Saudi Arabia just said 180. All right, it doubles. Does that mean the gas price doubles? I don't know. I don't know what it means. You know?
It might end. It might end soon, Joe. It might end soon. I mean,
I hope so.
Here's the thing.
I say let's just take our stuff and go home.
Such a fakey war. So now that the oil refiners are being hit on both sides, why doesn't America just take out all the oil in Iran right now? And they won't do it. And they're letting Iranian oil be sold to the market. Come on. And then they make it, of course, they know that people are too smart. They're letting the Iranian oil get sold. They know people, so they immediately have to get in front of it and say, well, there's a very specific reason, and probably in back doors, like, well, and we're going to let them sell it in dollars. How real is this? It's total economics. It's total economics, Joe. I'm telling you right now, if I was the head of the United States and I felt that Iran was an existential threat to the safety of Americans, I would wipe that country out. Why would you leave anything standing? If they have the ability to so-called bring a nuclear bomb and blow up an American city, right, or even just take out an aircraft carrier full of sailors, then just wipe their infrastructure out. And they're not doing it, Joe. They're just taking out enough infrastructure. They keep talking about how the war's going to end. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Short-term pain, long-term gain, right? So, yeah, I think after enough oil infrastructure and you drink up enough of the oil sitting out in the oceans, they'll have their equilibrium to inflate their way out of this I mean, look at Japan's. Look, it's not just America. These currencies work together. The yen is no different than the dollar. It really is not. They do have different values. But the yen has to inflate its way out of its problem, too. We have to How about this? Joe and I have talked about that the Japanese economy, it could flip the entire world economy over.
So I got
they have
news.
to inflate their way out of their problem, yeah. Joe. Their debt to GDP has to be fixed, not just America's and everybody else.
Okay. Put this dot together. According to the Times of India, confirmed by CNN for whatever that's worth, the Iranian government is said to be considering allowing oil tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, provided that the oil is bought with Chinese yuan.
Oh, no. Oh,
this
boy.
Is just what I'm telling you. This is the Times of India and CNN.
I love translating this. I'm going to translate it. That means, as fake as this whole war is, why do I get the feeling China is going to start buying dollars again? Hey, the oil can be sold in yuan, but as long as China starts buying dollars again, it's a shell game. That's all economics ever is. All economics is some guy makes up an idea. The reason we like gold is because gold isn't an idea made up by a guy. Economics is made up by a guy. Gold is here. It was God created. Right? As much as you can love or hate gold, an ounce is an ounce. And you can't just make it up. And you don't have a river of it underneath the ground. That's a never-ending amount of it to create energy. There's so much energy in the planet. Nobody on this planet should be paying for energy. But somebody controls society. We know this. And they don't. There's just too much energy floating around for them to control everything. Okay, yeah. We're going to let the oil through. It just has to be purchased with Chinese currency, which then the Chinese will take and buy dollars. Our business partners, that we're never going to war with China. I keep telling people. I play that piece for Ned Beatty. It's 1976. Network was already talking about the world system before I even was barely alive. I was alive for a couple of years when that movie came out. And he's like, there is no nations. There are no peoples. It's a world of currency that determines the life on this planet. And we're looking at it right now. The flow of currencies that's determining the life on this planet, Joe. We're watching it right now in real time. There's no other way to describe it. Come on. Are you kidding me? This oil can go through and that oil can go there. We got to blow this tanker up. We got to blow up that oil refinery. But that one needs to stay. It's like someone playing it. I can literally see like the guys rubbing their hands together. Bankers are rubbing their hands together.
Moving the pieces on the board. We didn't know who was in charge in Iran. right? I thought the government wasn't functioning. How could they be making these offers?
I think a deal was struck before this war happened. I think Iran, like Venezuela, has bought into the system. I think they both sold out. That's what it looks like, Joe. Like I said, when this whole thing if this thing ends nice and tidy, I'm guessing it's going to end with Iran sanctions ending. As tough as Trump wants to talk, why do I get the feeling that if there is a quick end, we say a month or whatever, no more sanctions on Iran. Oh, we're all going to play nice now. Really? Yeah.
The IEA is saying that 6 months or longer for all of the repairs to be made to the damage inflicted on these refineries. And when we get back, I'll update you now. More countries shutting down or limiting work. We'll go through those when we return. Again, U.S. Silver Eagles, $15.95, $10 Liberties, $2,400, 10 or more, $23.75. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, $10 Liberties, $2,400, 10 or more, $23.75. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles, $15.95 at 800-951-0592. Prices are starting to blow out. I know headline crude oil under 100, that's great. Jet fuel, diesel fuel, unleaded gas, skyrocketing today. Asia and countries around the world now are starting to shut down. I guess that may be good, right? I mean, less demand. We're looking at Asian airlines, Qantas, Air India, and others phasing in fuel charges now to passengers. They're talking about schools being shut in countries like Pakistan, other countries instituting 4-day work weeks, such as like in Indonesia and others. I don't know. When we sit here and we start, looking at all of these things, Jason, it's the price of a lot of things is going to get much more expensive. And this is going to be, we're talking about inflation at the gas pump. I think people are missing all the other things that inflation is going to come, because energy is needed to make everything. We have big plants across the world shutting down because they're like, listen, the cost, we'll lose money by making more fertilizer right now. We'll lose money by making more chips right now. And literally shutting down. And obviously, when will they open back up? Well, real simple. As soon as the price of whatever it is they were making is high enough that they can turn the lights back on. It's just, I don't know. This is insane. The whole thing is insane. The fact that we're sending more warships to the region tells me that we've got more to go. I mean, it's not like it's not like these ships go 500 miles an hour. If they just left California, which is what I'm being told, how long till they get to the Middle East? A week? 2 weeks? Right? I mean, yeah, things are, buckle up. I don't know what to tell people other than buy as much gold and silver and continue to buy. If the price keeps falling, keep buying it. Because the underlying story, especially silver, the lack of physical silver is going to show up here at some point, and there's going to be, I think we're looking at a lot of markets are going to have complete chaos very soon if this goes on. And as we said, the Saudis, who I think probably know better than anybody, hey, if this thing is still going on in April, It's going to be $180 a barrel. And guess what? There won't be enough oil to go around, Jason.
You're going to hold on tight and see what happens. They're going to, I guess, unravel the next phase of this during a basketball tournament. So
That's right. March Madness. It's March Madness.
So
how did your bracket look?
Maybe some of the stuff they don't want you to see can start happening now.
And we lost Chuck Norris today.
Oh, boy.
Right? Chuck Norris could have fixed this.